All right, everyone, how are you doing? Yeah, come on, bring the energy up. Yeah, great. Bring the energy up for the Autoimmune Saloon. This is the first, as far as I know, this is the first comedy show centered around autoimmune diseases. Has anyone in the audience ever been to another one? No. Okay. All right. That's good. So we're off to a good start right now. Anyone in the audience, please clap if you have an autoimmune disease. Yes. Multiple. We have multiple people. Oh, multiple. Oh, I guess please clap if you have multiple autoimmune diseases. No. Well, that's fine. Well, thank you all so much for being here. I'm Ian, and I want to start the show by saying, first, can anyone explain what an autoimmune disease is? Yeah.
It's like your immune system attacking yourself.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's as far as I could go with it too, explaining it. It's your immune system attacking itself. It's like your immune system's supposed to be attacking pathogens and viruses, right? What are you doing? And then it starts attacking itself when nothing is there. It's not cool, it's then a bunch of inflammation's there. It's fine. It's fine. So that's what it is. And then the next question is, why am I doing this show? Why do a comedy show about autoimmune diseases? Because, I don't know, first off, like I said, there's no shows about autoimmune diseases, right? There was never, Seinfeld, but everyone has an autoimmune disease, Or imagine, Sopranos, where everyone has an autoimmune disease. It's like, instead of gabagool, provolone, Tony's just, eating berries all the time. It's he's going to be a much more stable person in that show. So there's nothing, centered around it. And I'm like, you know what, this is a big part of my life. I have Crohn's disease. Give it up for Crohn's. Yeah, who is more like it? Yeah, heckle Crohn's disease. Thank you very much. I feel very supported when you do that. Having an autoimmune disease can be tough because you go through all these tests throughout the year. You see all these doctors. A lot of doctors dismiss you. Have doctors dismissed you? Right? They're just like, it's in your head, and you're just like, it's not in my head. You're a terrible person, Dr. Aviv. He's not here. It's fine. He always promotes his cookbooks to me. He has an app. Forget it. We're gonna talk about that later. The goal here is to kind of provide some type of catharsis for other people with autoimmune diseases and just find comedy. We have a ton of really talented performers tonight, a few of whom have autoimmune diseases. I will say this, just an asterisk here. There were 5 performers scheduled to go on, 3 of which had to cancel a few hours ago because they all got COVID. They're all doing okay. Let's hope they're all doing okay. So it's gonna be, we got some last minute replacement here. So got some few great autoimmune related people, and then something else, something a little different at the end. So it's the Autoimmune Saloon plus something else. That's what we're gonna call us. Guys, all right, let's. Is everyone ready to get the show started? Amazing energy. Okay, our first performer. She has been involved with Wild and Out. She was on Pause with Sam J. Please welcome Ayana Dookie, everybody.
Thank you. I thought he was going to introduce me by what disease I had. That would have seemed more appropriate, right? COVID, are you serious? They all got COVID? I feel like that needs to be discussed. Were they together? Didn't it sound like they were all together having some secret show outside of this? And they were just like, yeah, okay. All right, you guys are kind of tight still. All right, we gonna get there together. I don't want to rain on your parade, and I do an annual show with the Lupus Foundation for lupus. Other comics. I don't know if you're going to see her, one of the comics that's on the show, that's usually on the show because she might be one of the people that has COVID. I don't know. Man, COVID just seems so outdated. It's like, we still doing that? And I want to know what other was. He was autoimmune and other, is that cancer? Are we introducing other things in here? Are we letting type 2 diabetes in here? They're technically autoimmune as well. The sugar, did somebody get upset when I said cancer? Was that too dark? Honestly, the thing about having autoimmune disease, I think when I first was diagnosed, a lot of times people would give me at least it's not cancer, which is very fucked up to say, right? It's thank you, I think. But the difference is autoimmune, I gotta live with this shit. It's not something I can ever get rid of. It is just a constant in my life. At least cancer, they might be able to cut out your titty. That sucks, but I mean, it's gone. Yeah, this is good. This is, I don't know if y'all gonna be on my same level of humor yet, so check back again. How many of y'all actually have autoimmune? Okay. All right. How many of y'all are still sad about it? Like, we not reached the point. I was in the ER yesterday because I was having pains in my back, new pains. Because as you know, having an autoimmune, like, pain starts, but you're accustomed to the pain that you're accustomed to have. You're just like, oh, this is what it is. I need to chill out for a second. Right? When you start having new shit, because I've had lupus for almost 10 years now. November 9th will make 10 years. When you start having new pain, it's like, oh, fuck, like, what's going on now? So I started having severe back pain from last week, and I was like, oh no, I started Googling everything from like, is there like an STD that you can get that causes back pain? Because like I had some real questionable shit like the week before. Like I couldn't figure out what it was, and eventually it got to the point where I was like, I need to take my ass. No, I actually went to my doctor first yesterday morning, 9 o'clock appointment, and she was just like, yeah, we're not sure if this is a blood clot or a heart attack, so you should go to the ER. And I was like, cool. She was like, how are you gonna get there? I was like, the train. It's just like, I'm not, it's rush hour, bitch. I don't know what you think this is. This heart attack gonna have to wait. And also figure if I, end up having a heart attack on the train, the police would come and that would still be a lot cheaper than Uber. So, so I trained my way, to the hospital, and I actually picked the hospital that my good friend is in because she just got gallbladder surgery on Monday. She also has an autoimmune condition, and she put me on. I went and saw her, and I was like, this is a nice hospital. So when I was told I had to go to the hospital, I was like, I'm gonna go to that hospital in case they have to admit me. Like she had it was NYU, Lag-on-Tish. This bitch had a view of the ocean, the Pepsi sign. I was like, oh, I hope they check me in. This is a lot nicer than my view in Brooklyn. I can go for a few days in this hospital. I can do that. I can do that. That will work. I don't know. It's some of the things like before I was diagnosed with lupus, I had no clue what it was. Like the only thing I knew about lupus was Tony Braxton has it. I was like, well, that bitch looks good, so we're gonna be all right. Probably not the best way to judge a disease. And then I found out that Seal also has it, and I was like, oh no, we need to get rid of this shit. No shade. He looked like he'd been kissed by several roses. It's fucked up. But Seal also has lupus. It's not the same type of lupus I have. He has discoid lupus, which affects the skin. I have lupus that just fucks me up from the inside. That's it. And it's hard at times because I don't look like I'm somebody with a chronic illness. And I went into the ER, and since it's enough of y'all in here that fucked up too. This is my trick in the ER. You always say you're having chest problems, they will get you right the fuck in. Did y'all know that? Dead ass serious. So yeah, I was having back problems. I said I was having back problems, but it was radiating to my chest. Not a lot, but a little touch. So I was watching a bunch of people very upset with me yesterday because I got, triaged a lot quicker. And, again, I was in there looking like this, fabulous, just like, all right, I don't need a bed, I got it, I can walk. Not a good look. But, yeah, being in the ER, it's fun because you just get to see all the crazy come in. It's a lot of crazy. The later you go, my husband, he's a cop, and sometimes he tells me that he has, escort, prisoners to the hospital, and they get real wild in there. So anytime I go to the ER, I'm looking for, a show. There wasn't much of a show. One lady did come in, and she screamed for 45 minutes about her back, and I felt pretty bad that I had to sit next to her. So there was that, and there was another lady who had diabetes and was very loud about all of her medical conditions on speakerphone, and I was like, wow, we're doing this in here. Not really fun times in the ER, but I have to make the best of what's happening in there. What did they find out? Nothing. I don't have a blood clot or a heart attack. I'm just experiencing new lupus pain. So yay me. I don't know if that means I'm winning. So, I didn't really prepare to talk all lupus, and I feel like y'all don't need. Ian just told me it's fine. I can talk about other shit. I got married during the pandemic. I needed health insurance. Thank you. Thank you. We're also going through a divorce right now. Thank you so much. Thank you. Y'all got real quiet on that part. Like, is she serious? Yeah, dead ass serious. The reality of it is I don't think my husband realized how much work it is having a wife with an autoimmune condition. Yeah, he told me I was mean, so I asked for examples on when I was mean, and all of them correlated with flares. I was like, oh, motherfucker, I was sick, not mean. And he was like, what? Yeah, that's exactly how I feel too. Are people allowed to bring dogs in here? I don't have ADD, but I feel like I do whenever I'm on stage and other noises are going off. So my husband, he's actually, we got engaged before COVID kicked off, and we planned on having a big extravagant Hindu wedding. My husband is Hindu. I was brainwashed Catholic my entire life, and I was very excited about having this Hindu wedding. One day my husband comes to me though, and he goes, hey, my uncle died, so we're gonna have to wait a year before we get buried. And I was like, oh, I ain't really fuck with your uncle like that. Were we inviting him to the wedding? And this is when I found out that in Hinduism, if somebody in the family dies, you gotta wait a year of mourning before you do any fun shit. And apparently wedding falls in the category of fun shit. Now I'm biracial, my mom's black, my dad's Indian, so that means I'm black. So I didn't really know what was happening, right? Because I was not raised like that, right? But I didn't want to be disrespectful of his culture, but I also know I need to fact check to make sure he wasn't trying to get out of it. So I was like, well, where am I going to find some Indian folks, some Hindu folks to ask to see if this is a legit tradition? And I couldn't ask his family; those are the only ones I really knew because they were probably in on it. So I was like, we're going to find some unbiased Indian people to ask, is this whole thing a real tradition? And that's when I decided that, every time I hopped in my Uber, I'd be like, quick question. After I got enough of a sample population, I found out it's a legit tradition, it's an antiquated tradition. But the other thing I found out, more important, is that if somebody else dies during that year of mourning, the year starts all over again. Yeah, no time served, we just back to day zero. So pretty much my entire engagement was me just trying to keep people alive. That was it. Just checking in with people, how you doing, how you feeling, how's the gout. Also an autoimmune runs on both sides of our family. I wasn't sure how his mom felt about me. She has type 2 diabetes, and every time I saw her, she was eating cake. So I was like, ooh, she really don't want black in her family, huh? You are committed to that. I think I'm the only person of color in this room. That's great. Looking around like I'm doing all these Indian jokes. Anyway, so we got married. My husband asked me to convert to Hinduism, and I was like, absolutely, that's a way better religion than Catholicism. They got monkeys and colors and elephants and shit. We ain't got none of that. So I was like, yeah, I'll do that. Plus, it was much easier for me to become Hindu than for him to become a Catholic. Because to become a Catholic, some of you guys are nodding your head, you know how expensive that process is to convert, right? For those who don't know, it's a lot. First, you have to get a sponsor. Somebody's going to vouch for you. Then you have to go to meetings. Then you have to let the priest touch you. It's like all these things that have to happen in order to do that. And at that time, not only did I love my husband, but I liked him, not so much anymore. So I didn't want to put him through that. So I was like, I'll go ahead and become Hindu. And so I asked him, I was like, what do I have to do in order to become Hindu? And he's like, it's easy. All you have to do is just decide you're Hindu. I said, oh, like in my heart? And he was like, okay. And I was like, well, can I put up a Facebook status? This seems really unofficial. He was like, do whatever you gotta do. And I was like, all right, well, I'm a motherfucking Hindu. He was like, don't do that. And I was like, okay. All right. So, it's cool, like being Hindu now, I'm learning. I'm still learning a lot about the religion. I think I'm going to get rid of him but still keep that. I don't know if I can do that. You can, yeah, I figured like, why not? I'm there. I already have a favorite god. Like that's what most people know about Hinduism. There's a lot of gods. So my favorite god, he's a dude with a bunch of arms and legs, and he plays the flute. He could probably beatbox too. I don't know. But he just looks very efficient and granted all of my wishes. Unlike the dude on the cross, who's not even the right color. So I was like, yeah, we're doing well already. But my aunt is super Catholic. I come from a family that's like, I mean, they're super Catholic in the sense that they go to church and they judge you, but like not like in their real actions. I'm sure we all have these family members. And my aunt, she must have seen my Facebook status because she called me big mad. So bad. She was so upset. She was just like, Anna, I cannot believe you gave up your God for a man. And I said, I didn't give it up for a man. I gave it up for health insurance. Bitch, keep up. Jesus was not trying to come up off that Blue Cross Blue Shield. But Krishna showed right the fuck up, so here we are. You guys have been fun. Thank you for supporting sick people. Wherever you are,
Ayana Dookie, everybody. Thank you. That was wonderful. I actually genuinely learned something from that, is that when I go to the ER in the future, it's going to happen, I'm going to say I have chest pains. Because what I would normally do is just be very, like, as polite as I could be. I'm like, oh, they'll take me at some point. Meanwhile, like, there are people moaning and they're getting right in. So I thank you for that, Ayana. Also, everybody, if you can, if your autoimmune disease allows, there are drinks. Make sure to get a drink if you get a chance to support young Ethels for having us. So I do want to tell a pretty relevant Crohn's story, if you'll allow me for a second. So I am not someone who tends to get into trouble. I don't know if that's clear at all. Seeing me, hearing me, sensing who I am. I'm not someone who tends to get into trouble. I think one of the main reasons for that is growing up, my dad was someone who, if we were ever in the car, me, my brother, and sister, if we were in the car with our dad, he would, if a car cut him off or he cut off a car, he would just say, don't look at them. Don't look at them, don't pay attention to them. Because if you paid attention, if you gave them a look or something, you never know what they're going to do. You never know how crazy the person was. If they're going to like get out of their car and attack you or something. So that was always ingrained in me, like just stay out of trouble, don't do anything. So as I got older, I kept that with me. And then someone like my brother, he found himself in a bit more trouble. He, when he was in 5th grade and I was in 2nd grade, I remember coming home from school and he was crying in his bedroom. And I was like, why are you crying? And he's like, I got suspended because I told someone at school, bite me. And I was like, okay, don't ever say bite me to anyone ever, and I haven't. And then as we got older and older, I remember I came into his room at some point and he was rolling joints. And I was like, oh my God, what are you doing? Because at that time in my life, we had DARE speakers at school, drug abuse resistance education.
Yes.
So they would, and these speakers would basically talk about how if you do drugs, it's going to ruin your entire life, like anything. So I was like, he's smoking with his friends. And I remember I went to my mom and said, yeah, Andrew's smoking. And she's like, oh, is he smoking weed or cigarettes? And I was like, weed. And she's like, oh, that's fine. That's okay. And I'm like crying. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, he's going to be a DARE speaker. What are you talking about? So, cut to high school. It's relevant to the story now. In 11th grade, if someone could close that curtain, please. I'm gonna get the noise. Okay, thank you very much, Mike, everybody. It was basically middle of high school. I started feeling the symptoms. I started going to the bathroom all the time. Some of you guys might know what I'm talking about. You go to the bathroom all the time. I was like losing. I lost about 20 pounds. Was getting these like really intense stomach pains, and the doctors diagnosed me with Crohn's disease. And so eventually I got medication that helped. And but what stayed over was I would get these spasms, these like stomach spasms that anytime I would walk, the spasms would causes pain that I'd have to just be like, kind of like breathe it in, just like let it pass. And it would pass eventually, but the doctor's like, you can take something for that. There's something called Cymax Duotab. And it's like a small white pill that you take, and it should relieve the pain. So I took it, and it relieved the pain. It was amazing. So I started carrying Cymax Duotab with me everywhere in my wallet. Whereas other 17-year-olds might have like fake IDs in their wallet or like condoms, I had Cymax Duotab. That was my calling card. So cut to college, I'm not someone who's partying that much. It's still under the realm of stay out of trouble. So it's sophomore year of college, and it's a Friday night, and I have two friends who are like, hey, we're going to a frat party. And I'm like, oh, yes, I know of those. And he's like, yeah, do you want to come? And I was like, okay, I'm going to the University at Albany. It's downtown Albany. So I'm like, sure, thank you, yes. So I'm like, yeah, it would be good. It'd be good to socialize. Let's do that. I like to socialize sometimes. So we take the Albany Transit bus to this downtown party. We get to the party, and there's like a $10 cover charge. You know the deal. And you go in, you pay the cover charge, and you walk down these like creaky wooden stairs, and there's just like a sea of college kids just dancing to Flo Rida and I don't know. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm not gonna be able to talk to anybody unless I have a drink. So I'm gonna go to the keg and get a drink. And I go to the keg, start pouring a drink, and then suddenly the sea of college kids starts running up the stairs. All of them. And I'm like, well, something's going on, and I better follow all of them. So I toss my drink, which I barely had any of. Me and my friend Dylan are running towards the stairs. Everyone runs up, runs out, and then Dylan in front of me trips. And so for a few seconds, I'm like, get up, Dylan, what are you doing? He gets up quickly, luckily enough, but like for 5 seconds of getting up and orienting himself feels like a lifetime in this scenario. So he gets up, and as soon as we're about to get out, these two police officers in the kitchen say, you two get over here. So we're called into the kitchen, and we see a different sea of college students, very distraught-looking college students, very caught-looking college students, and they say that one of the police officers says, we want everyone to take out their wallets, and we're going to take your license out, and we're going to write down your information, and we'll go from there. And so they take someone's wallet, take their license, write their information down, let them go. Take another person, license out, information, let them go. Dylan, same thing. He goes. They get to me. They take out my license, write it down, and then they take out this small pill bag with white powder in it.
Oh, no.
And they said, "Is this cocaine?" I was like, oh my god. I didn't know what to do because I was like, look at me. Do I look like someone who's going to do cocaine? I mean, maybe I do. But I said, no, that's Cymax Duotab. And they're like, and they understood, right? Because the next thing they said was, put your hands behind your back. So I put my hands behind my back, and they put handcuffs on me, and they're the tightest thing I ever feel behind me, and they asked me again, is this cocaine? And I said, no, that's Cymax Duotab. I have Crohn's disease. I've never been to the principal's office in my life. I don't know why I said that to them, as if they're going to be like, oh, well, you've never been to the principal's office, you can leave. Like, that's the marker of this if you're a bad person. So I'm still there, handcuffed, and they're looking at me, and they're looking at my hot, that sounds weird. I was gonna say hot red face. My face was very red and feeling heat. Didn't call my face hot. So they were looking at me, and they're like, one of the cops said, who you remind me of? You remind me of that Jewish kid from the movie Dazed and Confused. And if anyone hasn't seen the movie Dazed and Confused, that came out, 30 years ago at this point, there was a very neurotic Jewish kid played by the actor Adam Goldberg, who was in high school. And he basically was telling me I'm that guy, which was I'm like, this is slightly anti-Semitic, but I'm gonna let him go with this. Because he seems like he's playful right now. It seems like he's joking around. This is his version of joking. And so I'm like, okay. And then I think soon they realized, because I kept saying, I have Crohn's disease. That's Cymax Duotab. What had happened was, it was in my wallet for 3 years, because I hadn't needed it in a while, and it got ground up and looks like a fine powder. That's what happened. And they're like, all right, this is very specific. They didn't say that, but I assume they felt that. And they're like, clearly this kid doesn't do cocaine or have anything to do with something that could be considered cool. So they're like, we're gonna uncuff you and let you go, but we have your information. And so I walk out of the house, still thinking I'm gonna be a DARE speaker. That's it. That's the end of my life. I'm gonna be this. It's gonna happen. There's no way around this. It's destiny. My friends are outside and they say, you look as pale as a ghost. And I'm already extremely pale, so this is not a compliment. I feel terrible. And we take the bus back to Albany. It's 3 a.m. And I'm reflecting. I'm like, okay, is this going to go on my permanent record? Is there a permanent record? What is that? I don't know. I'm just stressing, thinking to myself, what's going to happen now? So I think, who's the only person that I can call that might be awake right now, that might know something about this? The only person I grew up with who seemed to get in trouble occasionally. So I called my brother, who at this point in life is now at a yeshiva, and he's an Orthodox Jew. That's another story. And I call him and I'm like, okay, and he's up, he's like, hey, what's going on? And I'm like, so this just happened. Is this like gonna be with me the rest of my life? And he's like, he said the same thing my mom said when I asked her. He said, no, you'll be okay, it's fine. Don't worry about it. You didn't actually have cocaine on you. I'm like, no. He's like, yeah, you'll be fine, it's fine. And it was. They have never contacted me, but I'm still, this is a word of advice to everyone here. Don't ever bring pills with you anywhere unless they're in the prescription container. Thank you very much, everybody. All right. We have 2 more performers. Just a reminder to get drinks if you get a chance. Yeah, and feel free to sit up front. Thank you very much. Our next performer, is he here? Courtney, are you here? Courtney is not here at the moment. All right. That might mean we're going to do something in the interim, which is a little game, which involves a prize. And I don't know, I'm hoping all of you can eat this if you win it. It's a honey bun. These are not easy to find. Let's see, where is this? All right, so the people here who do have autoimmune diseases and people who even who don't, I'm sure you take medications that are probably like super expensive, right? Yeah. You feel free to shout them out if you want what the medication's called.
Ritalin.
Ritalin, okay. I don't know how much Ritalin costs, and I'm not going to explore that right now. Prozac, okay, yeah. And then, so for some of these diseases, I have Crohn's, there are some diseases that wind up costing a lot more money. Medication called Humira. Humira is an immunosuppressant, and it costs, with insurance, it costs about $5. Without insurance, it costs about $13,000 a month. A month. Yeah, no, exactly. We should all get together and rebel against something, because it's really terrible. And that's by the company. The company that owns Humira is called AbbVie, and they have a patent on Humira, so no one else. There's no competition. They can price it at whatever they want. So now you know that about AbbVie. Now I also have a niece named Abby, and she's not like AbbVie at all. She's a very nice person. She's 8 years old, and so I just want to, for this prize, we're gonna do a little game called, is this a description of AbbVie Biopharma, or my 8-year-old niece Abby? So, and whoever wins this will get the Little Debbie's honey bun. Okay, so number 1, she recently started learning to play violin. Abby, very good. Good job. Next one, recently persuaded a Pennsylvania federal judge to move an antitrust suit that alleges monopoly control over a blockbuster testosterone treatment to a New Jersey district court. Abby. Wait, say it one more time. Abby. Okay, you're all winning together. That was great. Okay, a few more. Really enjoys eating strawberries. That's Abby. I don't know, who's in the lead right now? You are, okay. You're in the lead right now. Great. Really enjoys abusing the U.S. patent system in an attempt to eliminate market competition for its drug Humira and keeps prices sky high.
Abby.
AbbVie, okay. Next one. Needs to forge new collaborations to build new centers of growth.
Both.
Whoa. Did you all say both?
Yeah.
That's correct. Because both AbbVie needs to work with other drug companies and not against them to do what's best for patients and allow internal growth. And Abby, she needs to stop fighting with her sister Miriam so she connects more to her family on Zoom calls. And the final one helps keep me alive.
Oh.
Still figuring that one out. But thank you for playing AbbVie Biopharma, or my niece Abby. Hope, I believe you won this. I'm going to
Yeah.
throw this to you now.
You used to play softball. What's up?
You just play softball. Let's see what happens. Okay.
Oh boy.
Here we go.
Sorry. I
Yeah, hope everybody. Okay. Next question, is Courtney here? I don't have more games. Courtney is not here. Okay, well, we have a wonderful performer instead of Courtney at the moment. He's a great guy. This was our three previous performers had autoimmune diseases. As far as I know, this one doesn't, so this might be a little different, but he's a wonderful performer. Please welcome, he's been on Nathan Fielder's The Rehearsal, Just for Laughs, Nick Mested, everybody.
Thank you, Ian. Thank you, everybody. I do not. I was honored to be a late addition to the show. I don't have an autoimmune disease, but I do have a bit that is sort of just related to the medical field. And so I am going to start with that bit, and I'm going to read it off my phone. It's a written piece. What if I told you there was a way to receive primary care that involved no wait, no hassle, and, best of all, no copays? That's right, it's free. And it's called Sick Day. The way it works is simple. Make an appointment on the Sick Day app, come into one of our designated locations, and immediately be seen by one of our doctors. It's that easy. Once your appointment's done, the person who is your doctor leaves, and you're the doctor for the next person. Sick Day uses a first-of-its-kind pay-it-forward system that eliminates the middleman, which in this case is medically certified doctors, and puts patients' health back into each other's hands. Now, don't worry. As a patient, if you feel like the care you're receiving is in any way insufficient, I'd encourage you to hold your tongue because you're about to be in that position. And when it comes time for you to don the white coat, fear not, because every Sick Day exam room comes fully equipped with a little laminated sheet that has some diseases listed on it. Don't be too proud to consult that bad boy. In the off chance your patient's affliction isn't covered on the sheet, need I remind you that we're all walking around with supercomputers in our pockets, okay? Use it, data and roaming fees apply. Now, if you're uncomfortable with any aspect of this, let me assure you, do not use this service. Sick Day relies on patients who are going to keep their word, not cowards who are going to receive medical treatment and bail. If that happens, it's a domino effect, and all the rest of the patients for that day are absolutely screwed. Now, some commonly asked questions. Doesn't this qualify as gross malpractice? No, because none of us are doctors. I'm a doctor, and this qualifies as gross malpractice. That's not a question. I'm not comfortable with any aspect of this. Then don't use the service, coward. Does insurance cover this? What are you talking about? How is this legal? If you're so interested in law, maybe you shouldn't be a doctor. This is a brilliant idea that's going to revolutionize healthcare in America. That's not a question, numbnuts. Look, we have the healthcare system on the run here, and you can tell because they're trying to shut us down with lawsuits, federal investigations, etc. So look, if you're open to new experiences and want to try a new way to do primary care, download the app. And if you're not interested, don't use it. I really don't care. Sick Day, use it or don't. I don't care. All right, thank you. This first one is a class clown. This is a class clown. Yeah, I have a question. If we already know all the answers to the test, do we still have to take it? over here? 4 pages. That sounds more like a pop test, not a pop quiz. Do you hear what I said about the pop? Yeah. All right, that was a class clown, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. All right, here's another character. Our specials tonight are a pan-seared salmon in a bolognese sauce. And that is served with a side of roasted asparagus that has just a drizzle of olive oil and a sprinkling of lemon zest, the combination of which is... Can I get us started on anything? An appetizer or a cocktail, perhaps? Anything that's cooked in peanut oil is denoted on the menu there, but just as an extra safety precaution, I'll be sure to let the kitchen know. What are you doing? I am at work right now. Are you trying to get me fired? I am on break in 20 minutes. I will handle you then. How are we feeling on food? Do we know what we want, or do we still need it? Okay, no, I will be right back with a massive first signature for focaccia bread. It is absolutely... Thank you. Okay. In the next 30 seconds, 4 things are gonna happen. 1, that phone is gonna ring. 2, you're gonna pick it up and find out that the cops have this place surrounded. 3, you're gonna be the ones walking out of here in handcuffs. 4, Chief of Police is gonna pat me on the back and tell me, good job for trapping you guys. I'm gonna say, thanks, do I get an award for this? He'll say, no award can compare to the amount of lives you saved with your actions here today, son. I'll say, Keith got an award. He'll say, Keith died in the line of fire. I'll say, so we're only giving awards to dead guys now? He'll say, let's talk about this later. How are you feeling? I'll say, me want award. He'll say, we'll talk about it later. I'll say, he'll say, what award do you have in mind exactly? I'll say, 2 Grammys for starters. He'll say, you're a cop, numbnuts. I'll say, tell that to Keith. He'll say, how many fingers am I holding up? I'll say, 20. I'll then load my pants and pass out. End of story. Any questions? Thank you. Okay. Okay, actually, here's an impression. Hi, I'm Dr. Oz. On today's show, we're talking cure for the hiccups. Where are they now? Now, after last week's episode, we received a whole bunch of viewer feedback that saying drinking a glass of water and plugging your nose doesn't work. I think today's show will show you not only does it work, but it also cures COVID. That was a doctor. Okay, let's see, what else do I have? Okay, here is a, you know what, I'm not gonna do that one. Okay. Hi, my name's Zeke. I'm the star of the Disney Channel original series Zeke with a Beak. I'm just your average 13-year-old, but I'm slowly turning into a bird. My family just moved here from the Midwest. Between my mom, dad, and little sister, life can get pretty crazy. But not as crazy as the fact that within the year, I'll be a full-on bird. Those are my two best friends. Their names are Tristan and Mash. I know no matter what happens, they'll always have my room. 7, 6 Central, only on Disney. Thank you. Okay, this is a wingman in slow motion. A wingman in slow motion.
Things are going pretty good out there. Huh, man? Asking that girl if she likes movies. That's my move. Someone's in here. I think I'm gonna go for it with that blonde. God is a man. Someone's in here. If you need a rubber, holler at your boy.
That was a wingman in slow motion. Thank you. Cool. How am I doing on time? 15 more minutes? Just kidding. Great. Let's see. What else did I want to do? Boy, oh boy. You spend the better part of your adulthood working on comedy, and you get on stage and you kind of trying to figure out what you want to do. Okay, yeah. Man. Okay, well. Okay, here's a character I wrote this weekend. Pretend I have like a big red nose, okay? I have a big red nose. Hello. I'm the patient from the classic Milton Bradley board game Operation. And I'd like to take a couple moments to talk about the waking nightmare that is the current state of healthcare in America. First things first, I've suffered from Charlie horses, bread baskets, wishbones, you name it, I have it. Both of my sides have prolonged histories of all kinds of obscure and antiquated illnesses. My mom's dad suffered from funny bone, and my dad's mom had ankle bone connected to the knee bone. I'm a big believer in playing the hand that you're dealt. I try not to complain, but I'm also a huge advocate for speaking up when something's wrong. And I wish I were lying when I say every time I've gone under the knife, it's been for unqualified surgeons who delight in my pain. One will try, I'll shriek in pain, and they'll laugh and hand off the tool to the next surgeon for them to give it a whirl. I'm always kept awake and never, ever offered anesthesia. To say my life is a waking hell is an understatement. Also, my deductible is insane. I can objectively say I'll never be debt-free. Okay, well that was a first draft of something, so you kind of got the good stuff and the new stuff. Cool, well thank you so much. I've been Nick Massad, and I appreciate it.
One more time for Nick Mestad, everybody. Yeah. thing I've yet to master. Like take the mic out, put the stand over here. It's very difficult. So our performer is, final performer is still running late, it seems. I know. That was my reaction too. It's not good. How's everyone feeling right now?
Woo!
Are you feeling okay? I know there's, look, I mean, three performers are not here, so the autoimmune talk is a little lessened. What we're gonna do right now is, maybe some of you need to go to the bathroom, maybe you want a drink, so we're gonna do a 5-minute break. So if you wanna go get a drink, go to the bathroom, go think about something in private. Those are all really nice ideas. So 5 minutes, we'll be back here for our final performer. Thank you very much, everybody. And back to the Autoimmune Saloon. Yeah, give it up for the show. Come on, energy. Bring up the energy. Yeah. I know. I feel like Autoimmune Saloon. It can be some type of first role player video game. You go around a saloon. Everyone this is a bad idea. Everyone has an autoimmune disease in a video game. That's a terrible idea. All right, is everyone ready for our final performer of the night? All right. Wonderful guy. Please welcome Courtney Reynolds, everybody.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Y'all having a good night so far? Yes? Good, man. Sorry for being late, man. Usually I feel like I was so sick, but I guess you guys have heard that already. So, kind of just gotta own up to it, How's your day going, bro? You all right?
Yeah.
Good, man. And you?
Really good.
Good, man. I kind of missed the whole show, obviously. So, I don't know which autoimmune disease we got hit with. So I'm like, how serious are we right now? I'm just trying to judge the room. You all right? You good? All right. Nobody's got in their eyes, so we didn't hit the big one. Good. Isn't it weird? Autoimmune disease, they entirely just kind of how LBGT took the rainbow. They just took the entire, the whole acronym, man. It's I got an autoimmune disease, but I always gotta break it down it's the little brother though. No, it's not that one. I didn't get the fun one, I just inherited mine from my dad, And that never goes well either, because then they're like, which one are you talking about? Please specify. Did you get AIDS from your dad? No. Autoimmune Saloon. My autoimmune disease is sarcoidosis. I know, every time, are you guys doctors and shit? Are you guys doctors or anything? Or no? But every time I tell people mine, they're just oh. I'm wearing Balenciagas, yeah, this is sarcoidosis. You know what I'm saying? Sarcoidosis is a vintage sarcoidosis. You like that? It's weird. You heard of lupus. Sarcoidosis? It's a lot on the tongue. Sarcoidosis is I think it's a cool disease, man. I embrace it like Kanye embraces being bipolar. It's low-key a superpower when you really think about it. Sarcoidosis is when your immune system is overactive, right? So I'm essentially Wolverine. You shoot me, I heal right back up. You know what I'm saying? I got the strongest immune system in here. My immune system is so strong, sometimes it just gets bored and starts fucking with other shit, It's just man, I done fixed everything in here. Those eyes look crooked. I fucked it up, huh? Fucked those up. And that's exactly what happened. I feel like the doctor did the best example of explaining what was going on. He was just all right, so your immune system is attacking your retinas, which is causing inflammation in your retinas, and that's why you can't see shit. Hey, I'm over here. So the reason it was a really scary time when I was finding out I'm ill. You know what I mean? Because I'm 33, I was 31, 32 when I fell ill. And that's a really weird thing to say when you're 31, 32, I'm ill. I'm not just sick. And it was really crazy because it was during the pandemic. So obviously, I thought I had COVID, It was weird timing also, because like I had just come off of like a 2-week cocaine bender, and I really thought the worst thing was happening. I thought that I was allergic to cocaine, and boy, it was a problem for me because I was still getting unemployment money. So I'm just like, what am I gonna do? I've got all this money and I can't do cocaine. I stopped doing cocaine like immediately. Like I like saying I do cocaine, but I don't really do cocaine. It was just like I had the extra money. Somebody gave me a free bag. That led to a few more bags after that. You know, the huge. And I don't know. I just felt like I quit immediately. And then my eyes still didn't get better, and I was just like, oh no. But at least I can still do cocaine. I don't know. It was weird, man. It was weird, like, coming to grips with, like, the vision being gone. I cried a lot. I cried a lot in the mirror to see if it was gonna help. I thought the fluid from the eyes would I thought I was trying to flush my eyes clear, because it almost looked like I was looking through Vaseline. So I was like, let me just try to like clean them with tears. But then that just got real, and I just kept crying. Just crying like, is it good yet? No? I didn't even have health insurance. No health insurance. The only health insurance I really had was my dad, because my dad also has sarcoidosis, right? So I kind of just went to him and was like, you fucked up? I'm fucked up. Let's go across the list and make a little Venn diagram. That way I ain't got to go to the doctor. I'll just start taking your meds. It works the same way with my girlfriend and STDs, you know what I mean? I've never been tested. But she's frivolous about it, you know? So every 3 months I'm like, you good? We good. Now I'm doing that with my dad. My dad has this, he had a doctor up in Rockland County, he had a doctor in Rockland County. And he's a really good ophthalmologist. Was it ophthalmologist, I think, right? Yeah, there's another one, optometrist. I'm the ophthalmologist, right? Anyway. And he was like, he's a really good dude, you know, he works really well on my eyes. I know you don't have insurance. I'm gonna pay for you out of pocket. I'll take care of it for you, man, because I don't want you going through what I went through. We're about the same age when it hit me, so I kind of feel what you're going through. I'm like, man, Dad, you ain't never said you loved me before. I think this is your attempt. I'm not gonna let it count, but I recognize your attempt. I'm gonna wait till your deathbed like you promised. So yeah, man, he's like, yeah, so as he's sending me, he's giving me the directions, you know, he's telling me where to go and everything, and he's like, oh yeah, one thing, just so you know, not a big deal, he's a registered sex offender. Anyway, so you're gonna make a left, make a right. I'm like, that's the day I found out my dad doesn't think I'm cute. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this motherfucker got like knockout gas in his room. I be wearing these cardigans. I'm adorable, right? You never know how old I am. My dad's like, nah, you're not that fuckable, man. Go ahead, get in there. Be somebody. You know what you want to see? He sent a blind man to a predator. Wow. What's really crazy, he gave me these eye drops to like make me go blind. What's it called? Atropine? Yeah. I use that as an excuse to not go to work for a lot of days. I would be like, oh yeah, I just did my atropine. I'm gonna be blind for 24 hours. So there's no possible way I could come to work. It's fucked up because I just got a new job. I got a new job as a hotel manager. Yeah. No, I'll wait for the applause. I have no problem. No problem. I'll be here all day. I'm really proud of myself, but I really don't have much confidence in the company that hired me, you know? Because I really don't think they did their due diligence, right? Because on my resume, they asked me, they were like, so, like, how much hotel experience do you have? And I think I was being honest when I said 10 years, right? I've got 10 years of experience in the hotel industry, right? But now that they're not here, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I started at a hotel as a night auditor 10 years ago. I worked there for 6 months. That's it. So when they asked me how many years of experience, I interpreted it this way. I said, well, I experienced that 10 years ago. That's 10 years of experience. Like, I'm qualified as fuck. And they gave me the job. They didn't do no full background check. I know I failed that piss test. And they don't care. It's irresponsible because I'm a manager. I'm in charge of payroll and shit. Like, if I smoke the wrong weed, like 30 families are gonna go hungry. Like, this is wildly irresponsible for them to do this. I don't know. Autoimmune Saloon. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been saying that over and over in the bathtub. Autoimmune Saloon. Picture a grown man in a tub. Autoimmune Saloon. I say it in all kinds of crazy ways. What can I ask you guys, if you don't mind? I'm about to get out of here. I'm just curious and I want to get caught up. Like, what other autoimmune diseases do we talk about today? Crohn's, big one, right?
The lupus.
Lupus, not as funny. But Crohn's, hilarious. It's not, but come on. It is a little. You poop a lot. It's fucked up when I learned what Crohn's disease was, because I only learned about Crohn's disease because of the commercials. You know, those commercials that they're very well done. You would have no idea that it's this shit disease. They're as pretty as tampon commercials, is what I'm saying. I guess that makes sense. I just thinking about lupus. It's not funny, but you know, we're at a comedy show. So lupus is just funny to me because in Jamaica it's a very popular. Everybody loves it. Everybody loves that good old lupus. Oh my god. No, it's a very fucking popular disease, man. But it's also one of those diseases that like people kind of like what would you call it? Fake on themselves. Like what's the word? When you think you have a disease, hypochondriac. Yes, Jamaican women love saying, "Oh, I love the lupus a flare." And if you're in a church and like somebody's going nuts and they're going it's no longer than 30 seconds before you hear 6 Jamaican women go, "Oh, I love the lupus a flare." The lupus a flare. So yeah, take that with you. If you have anybody in your life with lupus and they're going through it and they're having a bad time, just be like, "Oh no, your lupus a flare," and they're gonna go, "What the fuck?" I'm gonna start saying that. Anyway, you guys have a good night. My name is Courtney Reynolds. This has been cool. All right.
One more time for Courtney Reynolds, everybody. All right. Wow. He's absolutely correct. Like, Crohn's really is like the comedy disease.
Yeah.
Like, it really is the one people laugh at. Anytime I've told someone I have Crohn's disease, they're always like, they kind of like, oh. They kind of like back away from me, and I'm just like, nothing happened. I'm not shitting right now. It's interesting. So, okay, so tonight we've had sarcoidosis, lupus, and Crohn's. I don't know why I'm making a list of this, but I'm keeping track. And I also did not expect cocaine to come up so much.
Yeah.
It came up with Courtney, and I feel like totally ends of the spectrum. Like, okay, you were doing cocaine, and I was like arrested for the police thinking I had cocaine when it was Crohn's medication. So it's I was really on the opposite side. So what I want to ask all you guys, like, what have we learned tonight? You know, why not? Why don't we end the show with a little lesson? I learned from Ayana, like, if you go to the ER, say you have chest pains immediately, that's a lesson, right? I learned that some people might be allergic to cocaine. Okay, these are 2 big things. Anybody else? Any lessons from tonight?
don't keep 3 years worth of Roundup pills in your wallet.
Don't keep
Underage.
3 years worth of ground up pills in your wallet
Yeah.
when you're underage,
Mm-hmm.
because you might get arrested.
And forever.
And a police officer might call you a Jew. Which is what happens. Wonderful, everybody. Wonderful. Well, I want to thank you all so much for coming out tonight for this very strangely themed comedy show. And I appreciate Courtney, kind of making the Autoimmune Saloon into a song. So I'm going to take that for later. I do want to say, make sure you get drinks tonight. There is a Venmo from the Abby game we all played together. There's a Venmo with Abby's picture of me in it. She drew that picture of me. It's like a cartoon picture. Her mom's here as well, sitting over there. Yeah. And so please, if you have a little bit, just send it this way. It's going to go to the performers. Going to go to, performers. Yeah, pretty much. That's performers and our camera guy, Mike. So thank you all so much. I think that's it. And if you're looking to perform on one of these and want to talk about your autoimmune disease, please reach out to me. I'm around. So have a good night, everybody. Thank you.